that was interesting. So I just got done talking to the sales guy. And I didn't even ask him to be interviewed because I didn't want to put him on the spot. Here's the main entrance when you come in. Left lane to check in. Right lane if you already got your code. They do sell propane here. And here outside the gates are the two pump outs. Since only about a third of the spots here in LaConner, and they're way over on the north side, are sewer sites. The rest are water, power only. This park is on native land, Swinomish tribal land, and it's on a point that goes out. It's called Lone Tree Point. You can walk out there, but it limits what they can do here. Well, that was interesting. So I just got done talking to the sales guy. And I didn't even ask him to be interviewed because I didn't want to put him on the spot. But from my understanding, their capital budget has funds to redo all the restrooms here, redo some electrical, upgrade the electrical, because there is no 50 amp here. They also have plans to put in that internet service, Wi-Fi service, as some of the other parks have. And they actually have the poles here for that, and it was supposed to go in during COVID. And so they're waiting to get back on the schedule for that. And so there's plans here to upgrade this park, which is great because this park was put in the 70s. This was like one of the original Thousand Trails back when corporate offices were in Bellevue, and Chehalis was the first park. And I don't know if you guys that are members have noticed there is different flavors of these parks that you can tell they came from different organizations before they all merged. Like there was NACO, Thousand Trails merged with NACO, and it was Thousand Trails and NACO for a while, and then they got Mid-Atlantic, and then they got Leisure Time, which was more of like an RV park atmosphere than it is a campground like the Thousand Trails were. So anyway, the other thing I gleaned from him is there are a certain number of sites that you can buy or lease, I guess it would be a lease by the year, and you can only stay in your spot 200 and something days out of the year, but you got your spot for the whole year and you can leave your rig here. And there used to be a lot more in this park, and it used to be really disappointing because those spots were like some of the prime spots, like waterfront view, that sort of thing. And there are some in here that he said have since passed into an estate situation, and they need to be resolved to get removed and cleaned up. So anyway, but here's an example of closed power problems. So we're gonna take a walk around down here. So I came to this park first time in the early 80s. I was up at college in Bellingham, and my dad came to visit from California, and he told me he bought this membership to this camping club thing. And I said, "What is that?" He said, "Well, let's go check it out." So we drove down here, and we drove through the park and checked it out. So on up there, it's another restroom. The road's up that way, and that's the back of the sales office, and that area back up in there is primarily for the employees, where they park their rigs. So we're walking north right now. The main road is over there. Big grassy area runs up here. This runs straight up. We'll go up into the sewer sites. So, yeah, this place has needed bathroom upgrades for years. It's just one of the more popular parks. It used to be pre-COVID, maybe 10 years ago, you could get in here at last minute on a Memorial weekend or a Labor Day weekend. And not so much anymore. When COVID hit, everybody went camping, and it got crazy. Now there's a nice spot over there with the fried power. You can see that these bigger spots where the bigger rigs come into, usually the ones where the power pole gets fried. I guess the guy was telling me that the bus inside that box just melts from the draw people trying to make. So we'll go up this way. There's an employee trailer. I guess if one was smart, they'd come in here and couldn't get anything else, they could park in that spot and run their cord down and plug into the 15 amp on the other spot. All they needed was something to charge their battery. So this is the far east side. And the road is right over there, so these tend to get noisy with road noise. All right. So this is being filmed on Memorial Weekend 2024. It's cloudier earlier. The sun's coming out. It's not very warm today. It's supposed to rain tonight and into tomorrow. Typical Memorial Weekend weather. Here's the end of the grassy area right here. This this is the entrance or the starting point of the sewer sites up here. Hello, cat. Well, this doesn't look good. There's a nice spot. Now over on beyond those camp spots over there is private property. People live over there. So we don't have to go far to come here. We come here, I don't know, I'm about 20 miles away. But we come here with our trailer because it feels like getting away, but we don't have to go very far. So because this park kind of smells like sewer right here. So because this park is on native lands, they're very limited on what they can do, to the point where dead trees have to stay unless it's a hazard. In that case, they'll cut them off 20 feet up or so. There's some nice pull-throughs, so you can see the houses over there. So these are the prime spots, these pull-throughs. And then we get down here, and here's some camping cabins that you can rent. And there's a bunch of older, these are like, I forget what they call it, getaway cottages. And then the cabins are over on the other side that are much older. We can go over there and look at those two. But it's pretty quiet here, even though it's pretty much full. So here's an example of a list. Spot. There's the beach down there. This here is my favorite spot. Because you can back your trailer in there and the whole curbside opens up to a view of the water. This is what they call their tent sites. Which I don't know why they even have them, because they're pretty pitiful. If I was in a tent, I would just take a regular spot. Tell them I need to plug in a heater or something. Wind's picking up. Lone Tree Point. You can walk over there at low tide. Up there around the corners is Session Pass. Here's what it looks like when the tide's up. Lone Tree Point from the other perspective. There's another one of those police spots. These spots, we used to always get one of these spots when I had a trailer with the windows in the front. So you could look out there. Our trailer now doesn't have windows in the front, so it's no point. One of the policies that has been implemented in the last few years is they lock all the bathrooms now, which means you have to have a code to get in the bathroom. And the gal at the ranger station when we checked in had a really great idea. Was take a picture of the code, so when you're walking around the park, you got it on your phone. You can get in. So they haven't had a problem here with restrooms being used by people that shouldn't be, but other parks have, and that's why they made it a corporate policy. Here's Lone Tree Creek, which is just a trickle. This fills up at high tide. So this park is really very walkable. Unlike, say, Mount Vernon or Chehalis, where it's all spread out. Leavenworth, it's kind of the same way. It's pretty spread out, so it'd be a long walk if you're in some of those loops until I get to the lodge. This over here, when I first started coming here back in the day, they had rental trailers in here, and they've gotten rid of them, which is good. They were pretty worn out. Lodge over there. This building here is the store, laundry, exercise room. That over there used to be the craft room for the kids. I don't know what they're doing in there now. Here's the laundry. There's the exercise room, fitness center. Store's over here. It's not open yet. They do burgers there, I think, in the summertime. We're used to. Here's the tub. They do not have a pool here. Again, it's one of those things because it's on native lands, they didn't want a pool. Wouldn't allow them to put in a pool. I think these restrooms have been redone because they were closed for the longest time during COVID because of all the tile needed to be redone. Here's pretty much the gatherings vault. Shuffleboard, horseshoe. Here's the lodge. In there's the quiet room. They do breakfasts over there. And there's restrooms down that hall over there. There's Hope Island. That's a marine, Washington State Park. Where those sailboat is over in the distance, there's mooring balls. So, here is Plum Tree Point. Again, this is tribal land. You can't take anything off the beach. Can't fish here. Can't crab here. Can't even pick up driftwood, which I understand. But around the corner is a boat launch. You can bring your boat and you can go out there and catch crabs and fish. So last night we came down here and the water was, well, you'd see where the driftwood is. That's where the water is. And you couldn't get over there. So because the tide was up. Now those cars over there, those are tribal people. They're the only ones allowed to drive out here. That's their building over there. Not sure quite what they do there. That's theirs. So So there were people in there, so I didn't want to talk while I was in there, but you can see the sunken fireplace pit. Very 70s. It's not a fireplace anymore, but it's kind of interesting. That's the reading room. So this over here has some of the prime spots because they back up onto the bay and have a view out the back. I've only been able to get one of these spots like once. And it's quite interesting because there used to be, a few years back, a couple years back, a wait list program. And they didn't mention anything about that. There used to be a wait list program for the sewer sites too. But they haven't mentioned anything about that. big one. It seems that all the big ones are the ones that have the power problem. So there's a tree that always gets bashed. People aren't watching. You gotta really pay attention in this park. About the trees. Narrow. Here's another play area. And here's some of the cabins. These are old pan abodes. Lincoln logs. Cabins. I don't know if they're occupied, so I'm not going too close. This area is traditionally a little swampy down in here. I think some of this fills up on high tide, and in the wintertime, on a stormy high tide, it'll come over the logs out there. So we're heading over here to the north side where the boat ramp is. I have no idea why there's a power box here, because this isn't a campsite. Like a high tide only boat launch.
Look at how low the tide is out there. Up there you can't get to the rock way out.
So this over here is called the Crab Shack now. And they keep it locked. There's shuffleboard, old shuffleboard. And they're behind on their mowing, that's for sure. But this actually used to be the house on the property before Thousand Trails bought it. And this was the adult lodge. Regional carport. So, regional front door. Original kitchen with the original tile from a house, bathroom. So they put in new windows. Anyway, this was the adult lodge, and apparently it's now a rental facility, or I guess you can get the key and use it. They keep it locked. There was some teenage vandalism here, which is surprising. But from my understanding, talking to the sales guy, network-wide, they're getting rid of, or have gotten rid of, anything that's, quote, adult, separate, can't have kids. Apparently they got sued. That's all I know about that. But I don't know how that affects places like Bend that has 2 swimming pools, 1 adult, 1 family, and that sort of thing. I think Chehalis the same way. But I don't know. I can't believe somebody would make a big deal about that. Anyway, they can't even have adult hours anymore. There's some more cabins. Those are Panabode. There's a company up here, I don't even know if it still exists, called Panabode, that built these milled Lincoln log style log buildings that you could buy and assemble. Here's another loop, a couple loops. The road is right up there behind that loop. So, in order to get up here, you gotta come into the guard shack, come down one of these, come up here, circle around. So, that's a nice spot. Very roomy. So their map they give you is pretty nice because, and I'll show you that, because I think it indicates on there which ones are possible satellite spots, which are pretty good, but I don't know how much of a thing that is anymore with streaming services. I guess they're gonna need to update that, indicate which spots work for Starlink, I guess. Anyway, we're back to the main road here, Center Road. So I think that's just about it. Thanks for watching. Here's the putt-putt. Right up here by the ranger station. Main entrance right here. Playground, gas area over there. All carts. This is the main road in. Goes down here. You go that way out to the lodge. This way is a bunch of spaces, and then way off over there in that direction is the sewer sites.